I know our guys are excited about, the opportunity to go on the road, play in front of fans. Sounds like there's going to be a good crowd there, and ticket sales following that from afar over at Purdue. And I know guys are looking forward to it. Did get the depth chart out to you there. Did get asked about the quarterback thing, and we did talk to those quarterbacks yesterday and ended with the decision to go with Sam Noyer as the starting quarterback. Throughout camp, I thought the whole quarterback room did a good job back and forth, and it was very close. Talked to all those guys, but ultimately getting ready for a game week, felt like the best way to do it was make a decision on Monday so we can have a week of work knowing how we're building this game plan, the reps count, and all of it. So Sam will start for us on Saturday. Chance will be the backup. He does a lot of good things, feel really confident with what he does. And then it'd be Vidlac after that. In regards to Tristan, just continues to we want to give him time to get as close to healthy 100% as possible, and we feel like the best avenue is to continue to take it week by week, limit his reps so he can continue to heal. And so that's where it ends on the quarterback thing. Really excited about really that room, the depth we've created. And then we're looking forward to Purdue. I know this is going to be a challenge. They got some really good players, good scheme. Coach Brom's been there a while and scored a lot of points on the offensive side. They're similar to us. You look back even at last year in regards to their games they played, how close they were, coming down to the fourth quarter, won a couple of them, lost a couple of them, very similar to us in regards to how many returning players they've got and we've got. And so I think it's a matchup that should be highly competitive on Saturday, and we're looking forward to it. Questions?
All right, let's start with the court. You can hear through the mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Start with the quarterback. With Tristan, sounds like he's out for a couple of weeks, maybe. Is that?
Not totally certain. We're hopeful, a week or two. He pushed it pretty hard through camp. Competitive kid, and he just went through a 3 or 4 day stretch where this thing was not feeling right, and we felt like the best avenue was to limit him heavily, and so he can get back to being close to full speed, and he's yet to be full speed.
Because what I was getting to is before he stopped practicing, he looked like he was no worse than 1A. When he's able to go, is it open again, or?
We'll see where it lands, see how long we're talking, see how whether it's game 1, game 2 goes. But we feel like he's a viable option when he gets himself healthy.
Running back, 3 guys. Is that going to go into game day for you?
Yeah, I see all. I like playing a bunch of different backs. When we get closer to game day this week, even we'll see how that rotation plays out. But we do feel like we got 3 guys that could start and carry the load.
Another one on the depth, Tonacio, you're going to end up starting him.
Yep, and again, depending on Purdue defensively, what group we throw out there, but Cio's has earned that spot when we're in base to be able to run out there for the first play.
Coach Sapson Gov is back on the top of that depth chart. I know he's sharing it with Riley, but talk a little bit about his progression and how excited you are to have him ready to go.
Yeah, it was nice for to go through full camp and for the most part be healthy. Again, that room, we've got some experience in the outside linebacker room, and Riley's earned opportunity to play, and Anjay obviously, and really we're pleased with that group. So, and I look at it's pretty similar defensively across the board with where our secondary's at, with guys that have continued to grow and develop. Inside linebacker, we got some real depth there, but we got 2 starters that are pretty good, but we're very confident when you get down to the 2s and 3s at that position, confident in those guys in the game.
Jonathan, 4th year in, most of your staff's been here the whole time. You've recruited most of these players. How much does that help as you enter this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think continuity helps. Knowing these players deeply helps. We're in year 4. This roster, we feel like know these guys. We built some depth. I think we're bigger, stronger, faster. I think the continuity of scheme and the coaches is what we wanted to work to develop here, and now we're in year 4 and we're living it.
And a couple players you brought in from Salem. We've seen a lot of Tegan Catoriano. If you could just talk a little bit about him and where Anthony Gould might fit in with the crowded position as wide receiver?
Yep, start with Anthony. He's done a really good job in a competitive receiver room. Knows the scheme, can actually play more than one spot at receiver. It's counting on him helping us on special teams for sure this year. He's battled through a couple of injuries, going even back to spring and things, but this guy is primed and ready to contribute in a big way this year because of his work ethic. Obviously, Teagan been a mainstay for us. We do feel like he's going to be primed and ready for the first one. Practiced a little bit more this weekend, and we're counting on him. You know, what we want to do offensively, use of the tight end, he fits perfectly. And really, he's grown into having some real leadership and influence on this team. Does everything right in regards to work ethic, love of the game, being a good teammate, and he's a really good player.
Jonathan, thoughts on Purdue and what makes them dangerous for this first matchup here?
Yeah, you know, what stands out offensively is, you know, the scheme's tough. They like to throw the ball and be aggressive, can be explosive. The receiver, Bell is a big-time player that grabs your attention right away. Flip it on the other side, you look at the returners defensively, starts at the line of scrimmage. Defensive linemen can create some real havoc. And so it's going to be a challenge, let alone you throw in an atmosphere that we're counting on a bunch of fans there, crowd noise going on the road, something we didn't totally deal with last year. And so we're going to, you know, make an emphasis of it during the week, crowd noise and things. But I know guys are excited to walk into a stadium and feel the energy from the fans.
I know that you had mentioned in practice, after some practices, that the running back position was very, very even. There was a good battle there between three guys. The way you've listed it, will there be some scenarios? You've got 230 pounds in Fenwick, you got 205, of course, in BJ, but the experience, what's the feeling on the depth on that? Is it still a pretty even lot, or do you go with one guy for sure?
We will go into the game plan and get toward the end of the week. The type of plays we're running, how we're wanting to start the game might dictate what running back's out there. Again, those guys' skill sets have some similarities, but there's some strengths that some guys have over the other. You get into the game first, second quarter. If we get a hot hand, yeah, I can see one guy kind of getting featured after that. But it also ultimately come down to the first few plays Coach Lingerman wants to run might dictate who's the actual running back out there.
Hodgins and Robinson definitely out.
Long term, yep.
And we haven't heard, Robinson's out for quite a while.
Yep.
Jones, he's on here, is he?
He's getting closer. Yep, getting closer. That'll be a little bit how he's feeling this week, but he will be limited through practice, and then that'll get closer Thursday, Friday if he's available.
And do you feel like Teagan is going to be able to play?
Headed that way, yeah, that he'll be good to go.
And Keontae, he's on the depth
Yep,
chart?
yep. He's gotten some reps this last weekend. Still going to be a little bit limited fashion during the week, and then we'll make a determination if he's available end of the week.
Now, you've got two tight ends sets on here. Luke and Teagan are the top two at this. I mean, you wouldn't go down to your third guy unless one of those.
Right. Well, and again, you know, first game conditioning, we're going to rotate a little bit. But yeah, Luke and Teagan to start and be the mainstay. But we got some personnel sets. If we want to put 3 tight ends out there at a time, or even 4 on the goal line, we might do it.
Even though you've got your starting receivers on, you got 9 guys listed.
We're going to rotate them.
You're going to go 9 guys will probably play against Purdue.
I can see it, yep, especially contributing special teams wise. But again, the way we do things offensively and putting some particular guys in some spots to have success, I can see a lot of receivers rotate.
Speaking of the receivers, Tyjon Lindsey listed as a starter for week 1. What have you seen specifically from him in camp, just in terms of areas of improvement, maybe as opposed to this time last year?
Yeah, I think he's had a great camp. He's been consistent. You can see his confidence level is really high, works hard, all in on blocking, not just worried about catching the ball. His contribution on special teams, understanding of the offense, but the detail in regards to playing the inside receiver majority of the time, knows it in and out.
Coach, you selected your quartet of captains for the season. Talk about what you look for in selecting a captain and how important is their role?
Yeah. We talked about it as a team in regards to like what we see a captain doing, not just being the best player or the oldest player, really having some positive influence on the team, representing the team, and not just on how they play the game, but also off the field, on the field, helping each other, being a good teammate. And we just team voted for those 4 guys that got the most votes, and counting on those guys then to continue that stage of being a good teammate, representing this program. They'll contribute on decisions on occasion as it goes. I might just go to the 4 captains if there's something to discuss or think about, whether that's scheduling or jerseys or whatnot. So really proud of those 4 guys. I will tell you, after doing this team vote, we've got a lot of guys with some influence on this team in a positive way, leadership capabilities outside of just 4.
Jonathan, you mentioned the environment you're going to be going into. Fans, obviously, back in the stands. How much of that was taken into consideration when going with a more experienced guy like Sam?
Yeah, a little bit. Again, I think the energy in the stadium is a really good thing. Obviously, he's started games as a quarterback, but Chance has as well. I think just the overall feel throughout the body of work, through camp, and then headed into a game plan, and those things, we just felt like he has the best chance to let us score some points.
Coach, on their side, number 5 shows up a little bit, I would imagine, even though he only played 3 games. What about Karloftis, just in terms of the athletic guy that he is on their defensive line?
Yep, can be an issue. It starts at the line of scrimmage. He's a good player. Again, you go back even 2 years ago as a freshman, the way he was able to, make plays, do some things at the line of scrimmage. So we're very aware, and that's what you do. I mean, when you play big-time programs, you get to have some big-time players to be able to game plan and sort out, but he's definitely grabbed our attention.
This will be your 4th opener. What did you learn from the first 3 that you might be able to apply to this one?
Right, I think each year you're learning all the time. Quite a bit different in the 3 scenarios of the 3 openers, Ohio State and then, Oklahoma State at home, and then, delayed in just playing conference play. Didn't make major tweaks to fall camp, but did learn a little bit in regards to, making these guys overly fresh for the opener. So this week of practice will be a little bit lighter. Gotten a lot of reps through camp and making that emphasis, and hopping on a plane on Friday and playing the game.
We're still in that COVID area, obviously. When do you kind of know during the week if you'll have, if you have the bodies to play a game? Is that
right? We're tightening up the protocols as we travel, but we're going to test again Thursday, which is mandatory certain hours before kickoff, and so far so good on those things. But that's when we'll find out after those tests.
And where are you at on the vaccination rate for your team?
I haven't got the latest. I know we had a few unvaccinated guys in camp get vaccinated, and so it's only gone up, the percentage.
You said 86, I think, at Pac-12 Media Day, so it's up from 86.
It's up from 86, yep.
Coach, it's one thing to have a 5th-year senior, but what about a 6th-year senior? How can you speak to Anjay and his, about him and his importance, but also having him going into a road game with all these young guys?
Yeah, he's got some experience. His passion for the game is as high as I've seen it. The way he's practiced running around, he's having fun with it. He brings a lot. And he's not just, only 6. Elders play a lot of football too, and we've got it's a veteran group with leadership, like I mentioned, which I don't think is totally different for many programs with everyone getting that extra year and things. But Andre brings a ton to the table, and really excited to see him play on Saturday.